Hello and welcome to another midweek episode of Just the Tip. This is the Successful Mentalist podcast. My name is Ashley Green, and as always, I'm joined by the fantastic co-host that is Aidan O'Sullivan. And today, I've already mentioned this on the TSM podcast, but Aidan, we're going to be talking about something which is so important in our industry, health. The most important thing that nobody is ever talking about. And it's so bizarre that no one's talking about this. It's such a weird taboo subject. But really, health is the most and biggest unlocking thing ever. And that's why over on our community network, we're doing a lot of free events to really help people with this. We're calling it the 30-Day Biohacking Challenge. And as of recording this, over the past 30 days, we really focused on sleep. And the benefits of sleep in our entertainment business and in health overall is profound. You get more energy, you're more focused, you've got better mental clarity, you're able to show up and be your best, you're more productive. Of course, sleep in general, it improves your health physically and mentally, and also you're not going to get an onset of the various common diseases which are associated with a lack of sleep, such as obesity, cancer, dementia. The list goes on and on and on. So this stuff is super important inside our entertainment business and outside of it. And today we're going to be talking about 3 actionable tips which you guys can use straight away to improve your sleep. So Aidan, why don't you kick us off with this?
So, when we was talking to Phil Smith about this, he said something that was absolutely brilliant. If you want more gigs, why not just live longer and do more? So I love that. It was brilliant. But today, we're looking at actually doing some sleep hacks with you all. And some of the most important ones are really quite profound. And rather than just picking some of our favourites and sharing that with you, there's a few sort of standouts from the people that actually took the 30-Day Biohacking Challenge. And I think the first most sort of profound transformation was actually from Michael. Now, Michael did something really interesting, is he actually started simply tracking his sleep. For him, it just, again, as with everyone in the Biohacking Challenge, we started tracking our sleep and really optimizing it. But Michael took it to another level, and he was really obsessing over his sleep tracking. He had the a free worksheet. He had that printed out for every week of the challenge. He was writing in that every single day, tracking that, analyzing that, improving his sleep where he could. And honestly, his transformation over the course of the entire 30-day blueprint was profound. Not only is he showing up with more energy every day, but he's actually lost 9 pounds of weight in the process, something that he was aiming to do. And just by sleeping and optimizing his sleep, he was able to actually lose that weight. It's absolutely fantastic. It's been a real eye-opener in that sense, just being able to track your sleep. And that's, you don't need any fancy gadgets or anything. Like me and Ashley, we wear a special device called an Aura Ring. But actually, you don't need that. Simply tracking the times that you go to bed, the times that you wake up in the morning, the times that you get up in the morning, the times that you're using alarms, how your energy levels are throughout the day. It's just these little simple things that you can actually track every single night and start improving over time. And it really is amazing.
That's it. Well, you're able to compare those stats from the day before, the day before, the day before. And when you start tracking it, then you can think, why did I have a bad night's sleep? Let's look at what I did. Oh, right, I drank 12 cans of lager. That'll be why. And sometimes it might not be as extreme as that. It might be down to something like you recently said, Aidan, from tracking your sleep. You was like, I had a really weird night's sleep. And the only thing I did differently was started taking magnesium supplements. And you would have never identified, any of that if you weren't tracking it. So sometimes, this can unlock so much, and it can really get you to understand your sleep so much better because you're documenting everything. You're building up a collection of all of your past experiences, so it gives you comparisons to go through, find out what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and the various interesting things in between.
It's really quite profound, and the question I like to ask people when we're talking about sleep is, when did you last learn how to go to sleep? And most people don't, because we just don't learn about this stuff. It's not stuff that we actually we naturally learn about. We just do it. We just go to bed, and that is that. But that kind of brings me on to the second point. Actually, okay, we've started tracking our sleep now. What can we actually do to improve it? And there is one thing that is more high leverage than many, many other things. And you might be thinking, oh, of course, go to bed. Oh, yeah. It's actually the opposite. It's actually waking up at the same time every day. And that, optimizing that morning routine and waking up and getting up at the same time every day, yes, even on weekends, is such a big game changer. And the reason it does that is a few different things. First of all, you're actually training your body to, over the course of the day and the night, actually secrete the hormones that you need that regulate your sleep and your circadian rhythms and your natural biology. Well, you're training your body to dial in those hormonal pulses, if you like, earlier on at a time that's more relevant to the actual circadian rhythm, natural circadian rhythms, which is your biological sleep clock. But in the morning, you set that up, and if you're going to bed late, well, you're going to feel naturally more tired earlier on by optimizing that morning routine. So you're not going to go to bed as late. You're actually going to be able to come to bed a little bit earlier on. And some really good things to actually do in this morning routine is quite simply getting some natural sunlight. Unfortunately, behind a window or inside still isn't actually as effective as going outside and getting some sunlight. But even something as simple as going out for a walk or just having a glass of water to keep yourself hydrated before you go. Really, really important stuff. And in fact, there was someone else in our challenge, Severino. He actually won the 30-day biohacking challenge for really leaning into this and getting stuck in the most. It was absolutely amazing. But one of the things that he started doing is he was doing this with his partner. And actually, he noted that actually over the course of this challenge, he's been able to do this with his partner, go out for these morning walks and actually deepen his relationship with his partner. And it's now a routine, a ritual, a habit for them. And as a result, they're both sleeping better at night and they're having a better level of communication and a better overall day, which is just amazing.
Yeah, that really is profound. And I know personally, when I've led into an optimized morning routine like this, and also, cold showers, huge favourite of mine as well. Going on the walks, having a glass and having a cold shower. When I do that in the morning, honestly, the rest of the day lines up. I feel so full of energy, Aidan, and I feel like I can accomplish so much more. And I also feel happier. And it's just through doing these simple things.
And the third kind of real key tip that we wanted to share is actually light exposure. Now, we touched on it a minute ago in terms of sunlight and things, but light is one of the big, really, really most important factors that it impacts your sleep. And just to give you the science behind it, when the sunlight actually goes through, it comes into your eye and it's picked up and it sends the information to a tiny little area of your brain known as the suprachiasmatic nucleus, the SCN for short, and it's actually in the hypothalamus. And the hypothalamus is the area of your brain that actually regulates your hormones or most of your hormone production. And actually what it does is that regulates your sleep-wake cycle because of all of the hormones that are secreted. Now, if you're getting light in line with the sunlight and you're actually getting that sunlight naturally and your sleep cycle is aligned as close to the actual daylight, then that's going to be a really great advantage because that's actually how we are supposed to run from a biological perspective. But more importantly than that, actually blue light particularly and screen light, we hear it all the time, like blue light is the dangerous thing. You can get blue light blocking glasses, but fun fact, actually blue light isn't the only dangerous form of light or the most damaging form of light when it comes down to sleep. There are some other colors on the spectrum as well that impact it, but staying up late and actually binge watching movies or on your phone, and even first thing in the morning, actually getting all of this junk light in your eyes, well, actually 15% of your overall energy is stored in the mitochondria within your eyes. And that's actually like locked in there as a result of the blue light, rather than channeling it through to full body energy. And what's really important is actually stopping that junk light and that screen time first thing when you wake up, and as you go to bed in the evening. We like to actually implement what we call a power down hour, actually something that we learned from Dr. Michael Bruce, the sleep doctor, and it's quite simply switching off screens an hour before you go to sleep and actually giving yourself that time to actually bring on that natural tiredness, rather than the light stopping the melatonin production, which is one of the hormones that actually lets you go to sleep.
Yeah, and that's why we have obviously the blue light blocking glasses, the little funky glasses, which you've probably seen at some of the TSM events, and you're probably like, why are you wearing sunglasses late at night? But now you guys know why. And you know, that brings me on to a point that there was one last person in this course who lent into this, and one of the things that he changed was his light exposure. You know, a guy called Taryn, he stopped turning on his phones late at night, first thing in the morning, and really became aware of the lights around him. All of this junk light from LED screens, phone screens, and our ceiling lights. He became aware of this and started really looking around it, switching off his phone a little bit earlier. And the results were, I mean, it's been incredible to see. Like, his mood, overall mood, productivity has just increased. I've seen massive changes within his energy levels. I remember when Taryn first came to the 30-day biohacking challenge, and you probably remember Aidan as well. He was very drained out, very kind of like washed out. And at the end of it, he went, oh my gosh, I'm really full of energy now. I actually get tired when it's coming up to my bedtime, and I'm actually able to get out of bed at the right time as well. He used to spend like 2 or 3 hours struggling to get out of bed, just kind of laying there. But now he's optimised that, and as a byproduct, he now feels better. He's got more energy, and he's not wasting 2 to 3 hours in bed in the morning. And that was just because he became really aware of all of this junk light around him and started cutting it out late at night. So yeah, it's a really, really interesting thing to really look at and just be super aware of. So I hope you guys have really enjoyed these very, very simple tips today. As you can tell, really, really easy to do. And you can act on this immediately if you want to improve your sleep.
And if you do actually want to learn a little bit more about what we actually went through in the challenge and all of the little hacks, well, we've actually got an ebook for you. If you head over to thesuccessfulmentalist.com/sleep, you'll be able to check out the full 30-day blueprint, the actual blueprint of the challenge, as well as some of the most important sleep hacks. We looked at the 80-20 of sleep hacking, the most important sleep hacks, the key areas to actually try and hack, fundamental principles of sleep hacking, why you should be hacking your sleep, the science of sleep. We went through all of this in just 4 weeks of these overall challenges, and again, that's all going to be in the ebook with links to resources, bonus materials, and other options actually there. And again, you can go to thesuccessfulmentalist.com/sleep. But that's not it. We're doing more biohacking challenges, and in fact, the second biohacking challenge is meditation. Now, there's a lot of preconceptions about meditation, so we are kicking off this entire 30-day meditation challenge by looking at meditation and exploring what it actually is. What is meditation? What is it really? It's not sitting in a cave like a monk for 3 hours or 3 weeks or however long you want to think. It's actually much easier and much more straightforward than that. But if you want to find out more about that, if you head over to community.thesuccessfulmentalist.com, you'll actually be able to sign up and join in these challenges. You'll find that there's a specialized group specifically for these challenges. And also, if you check the show notes, you'll be able to click a link and go straight through. But we'd love to see you there because it really is so much fun. And it's not only fun, but it's incredible towards our overall health as well. Well, with that said, we'd love to see you there. But if not, we'll see you at the next episode of the TSM podcast, which is only a few days away. So we'll see you then.